So I'm here in Lloret de Mar. My name's Leon, and I filmed a couple of clips, one last night and one this morning. I'm on my holiday, and I'm the sort of person who lately has been transferring from watching The Chase after work to just watching YouTube, and I thought I could contribute to that a little bit, maybe make some content of my own, be someone interesting to watch, because I feel like there's a chance that somebody might find this interesting. I certainly find lots of seemingly ordinary people interesting myself. So I'm gonna have a go. I'm gonna film bits of my holiday, try to build up some confidence talking on the camera, and practice filming angles, because I feel like I keep dropping the camera. I'm using my phone here, so it's not ideal. I've not got a microphone. Yeah, so I'm just going to film bits and bobs, see if I can string together a semi-interesting video, and go from there. Keep practicing. I don't know anything about Lloret de Mar. I've not been to Spain myself for about a decade. Yeah. Just done a little bit of shopping for some drinks to keep our thirst quenched throughout the next few days. I'm ambitiously saying the next few days because that's quite a lot. So we're just going to go out now. It's a nice day in Lloret de Mar. Very pretty. Let's go and see what there is out there. It almost feels a little bit like a mystical place, somewhere from a nice novel. Not that I've ever read a novel that describes stairs covered in ivy, but feels like that sort of place that could exist. I'm actually enjoying these gardens quite a lot, more than I thought I would. I thought the €6 entry price was a little bit steep for some flowers, but no, I'm really enjoying it. And walking through the Jardins de Clotilde, I think they're called. We've come here because apparently this is one of the finest examples of a Catalonian garden, and it really is quite spectacular. I mean, it does help that they've got this spectacular view right behind. As you're walking all around the gardens, I find everything looks prettier when there's a nice blue sea as a backdrop, which is a shame that we don't have that in the UK, but unless you live up the coast, maybe you do. Maybe you've got nice blue sea out the back window, but I'm not one of those people. It's really... So we've stopped to feed the baby for a little break, so I thought I'd just come back here, try and talk a little bit more about some nonsense, really, because I've got to get better at talking about nonsense. I seem to be really good at talking about nonsense all the time, apart from at the moment I've put a camera in front of my face and I feel a little bit shy to talk about my usual nonsense, and this is practice to make sure that I can get rid of that fear of waffling on about absolute rubbish. So yeah, I know this is a pretty good view behind me here, and there's no one behind me ruining my shots. There's a lot of people the other side of this bush talking, which is probably being picked up, I don't know. I'll probably watch all this later and think, what a load of rubbish. Yeah, well, I'm just trying to work up the appetite to have a beer later with Alice, and then we'll relax a little bit. It's only our first day out here. It's lovely to be in Spain. Really enjoying it. but my mind is starting to turn towards beer. It's getting to the time of day where I'm starting to think about beer. So in a little while, we will have to go and find some beer somewhere, won't we?
Some local beer.
For a little rest stop somewhere. We don't know where. Might have an idea where. Actually, I've just remembered. I might have an idea where we'll go.
Yeah.
Because it's just so lovely to be sat in the warmth, isn't it?
And hot.
Months and months of waiting, and here we are, enjoying the sun. So what do you think of Lloret de Mar?
Beautiful.
Never been to this bit of Spain before.
No,
Being the Catalan region, lots of unique history. I got something wrong a minute ago when I was talking to Alice. I said I have an idea where to go for a drink, but I just had a look at the map. The thing I was thinking of is a bit far from us. So this will probably have to be something a little bit more spontaneous. What do you do when you go away? Do you plan it all out? Big itinerary, we'll have breakfast here, lunch here, dinner here, do these activities in between? Do you go without any planning? Do you just go and say, yeah, whatever happens, happens, we'll go and enjoy it? Do you have some idea and recognize some things that you've looked at and go to them? Yeah, let me know how you do it. It'd be interesting. Everyone seems to have their own ideas of what the correct way to do a holiday is. I've tried them all, and I don't know which one works best for me. At the moment, it would be better if I had planned, because I could have thought of some. I'd know where to go now, but then on the other hand, I kind of like the freedom. So, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we end up somewhere good. There's always that risk, isn't there, that you end up somewhere a bit rubbish. Alright, back walking around Lloret de Mar again, and I thought, okay, I've just been around the botanical gardens. I just went for some lunch, a couple beers. We had a bit of an interesting experience actually in the Greek restaurant we just ate at. I don't know why, before you ask why have I gone to a Greek restaurant in Spain, it felt right. Okay, sometimes things just feel right and there's nothing more you can do about it. We ordered 4 large beers and got 3 smalls and 1 large. A bit of a weird mix up that, but we were able to get through it. We were able to enjoy it nonetheless, despite the really quite upsetting mistake. So I'm just going for a little walk around now. I don't really know what's around, what there is to see, but I'm just gonna keep going and see what I can find. I'm going to walk up this way. I fancy going for a little swim after a while, but I'll do that. I'll just get across this road here. I've heard bad stories about jaywalking being a crime in Spain and getting fines of hundreds of euros. So I'll just wait for the little man to go green, like a good law-abiding citizen, like a good Samaritan. Now, I'm walking this way for a particular reason. Looked interesting on the map. I'm not going to go very far anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But again, I feel like I need to walk after all that food. Something really relaxing about being abroad. You don't have those same daily stresses. Doing the dishes, cooking dinner, washing your clothes. It is so nice. It's so nice to be able to enjoy your time and not worry about that. Don't you think? It's quite a luxury as well to live a life where you can escape the daily rat race just for a little bit. And just live a little bit doing whatever you want to do without thinking about it. I feel that way. I've just been walking around, filming myself a few times, talking. 1-2 minutes tops for a clip. Trying to get familiar with this whole principle of talking to a camera. creating something that somebody might find interesting to watch. And then what happens? I see a group of people, because a minute and a half is not a very, it's not a very long time, but I'll see a group of people up ahead, and then I'll suddenly feel like, ooh, talking to myself with a camera in my face. Bit weird. Let me pause that and try again later. But it doesn't really lead into anything interesting. So I thought about that, and I've walked up here where it looks like there's absolutely nobody, so I can talk my nonsense comfortably, and not panic about somebody judging, somebody who I don't know, I'm never going to see again, judging me. It's really nice around here, actually. I'm walking up now, and I see, I've seen on the map that there's a Russian Orthodox church. Now, I'm in Lloret de Mar on the east coast of Spain, and I thought that was quite unusual. So I'm just going to come and walk this way and have a look. Already, I mean, if I'm here now, which I think I am, got to get better at holding this camera up higher. I need a GoPro or something that's not so conspicuous. But yeah, this actually looks a bit abandoned. I think that might be it over there. But there are some people there. I'll get a bit closer and have a look around. Yeah, it feels odd. A Russian Orthodox church in Spain. I'm curious if there's any reason for it being here. I'll go have a little nosy around, see if there's anyone in who'll explain it to me. Probably there'll be no one. And if there is, they probably won't speak English. So I'll get nothing. I don't even know if this is it really. There's not been a sign to say, oh, Russian Orthodox Church here. But it sort of feels like the site that there could be a historic church. And then you see shops and a Lidl in the background. Yeah, I find it fascinating to discover things like this. I wonder what the history is. Was there a population of Russians who used to live in Lloret de Mar who opened an Orthodox church? Well, obviously there must have been, otherwise why is it here? But yeah, it's certainly fascinating. Another thing that's nice is to be in England. When you're in England, you don't see many truly untouched fields. Just trees, grass. You don't see it very often. All the land is developed or farmed. It's nice to just sit amongst the sort of untouched, although it's not very big, just the untouched nature. But I'm gonna turn this off, have a look around, see if I can find anything out. I can hear sounds inside the church, so almost as if there's a service going on. So it is Sunday today, so that is possible. But yeah, very interesting, very cool. Doors are closed. There's a few posters on the front in Russian Cyrillic alphabet. I can't read it. I've done a Google Translate of it, and it seems to just be some kind of schedule. So yeah, fascinating. I'm just walking down the path now. I'm not sure where, but it's cool. Like I've said, it's quite a novelty to just have untouched land to walk around. Don't get to do it very often, so I'm just doing it. Now I'm discovering very quickly that holding a phone up head height to film and still getting it off, still missing my face most of the time, quite tiring. But I'm not going to complain. People do this for a living. Yeah, I don't know where I am. I know I'm in Lloret de Mar, but I'm not sure where I've ended up. I'll have a look at this. it's nice. I think we should all get out in nature more often. It feels good to look at an old tree, to look at some old overgrown grass, some wildflowers. It feels nice. There's not a lot of litter, and I've only thought of that as I can see what looks to be a 20-year-old can of Coke scrunched up in the corner there. Can of Estrella lager, even better. But it's nice. So this is what a holiday's about, don't you think? Being out, feeling refreshed, feeling like you're doing something out of the ordinary. I would never just go for a walk through some fields on a Sunday back home. Mostly because there aren't natural fields like this, but also because you have got that stress of the daily life. But yeah, I'm mostly talking like somebody who's had a few beers now. We'll probably have a few glasses of wine later, as we are in Catalonia, and there are some really nice Catalonian wines which you don't see often in the UK, obviously because you're not in Catalonia, and there are wines which are really popular there, but it's nice to try local wine. I'm probably just talking a load of nonsense. I'm not even that interesting. I thought I was interesting. I feel like I was an interesting person to talk to, but as I'm listening to myself now, I feel like I'm really not. So I'll just show you some more scenery. And there are some pretty purple flowers here. I mean, they look like weeds. But I'm sure the bees love them. I have gotten into gardening a lot lately. I've been reading about different flowers to plant, different times of year to do things. It's a bigger subject than I really gave it credit for. Trying to build a bit of a garden going. It's better than it was when I've moved in, but I've got some work to do. Learn about flowers, trees, tomato feed. What a load of nonsense. You should be able to just chuck a few seeds in the ground and flowers to spurt out, but they don't. They're really picky. The pretty flowers are really picky, you know. You've got to make sure the soil conditions are just right. You've got to nurture them, keep them warm and cozy, and then only after a certain point can you plant them in the ground and expect them to do really well. Flowers should just do flower things and grow. They shouldn't need that much attention. It's so strange being in another country. Everything is just so different. And the simple fact that it's so different, I find it also entertaining. Most people probably don't. I get that, but I do. Maybe this is the cemetery. This looks more like a grand cemetery. I'll just cross the road and have a closer look. Is this the entrance? Oh yes, there's a sign there that says that. Okay, so I've just been looking at something else. It's not what I thought it was. Certainly not the main, not something that I would have thought is an attraction. This, on the other hand, looks more like it. Oh yeah, there are some grand tombs. Oh, there's some grand tombs here. Cemetery Modernista. My guess is that translated to modern cemetery. Do I need to pay to go in, or can I just walk in? It's not clear. So it's an Art Nouveau. I hate trying to pronounce words that I don't know how to pronounce and then looking like a total idiot. Oh, sounding like a total idiot. Probably look exactly the same as any other time of the day. Yeah. So this is the modernist cemetery of Lloret de Mar. Now I did want to come visit here with Alice as an attraction. I'll tell her I just walked past it and show her this, see if she wants to come back. But this really is quite a grand cemetery. Who are these people who made their fortunes worthy of such grand tombs? What were they like? What did they like to eat? What did they like to drink? How did they pass the time? What did they do to make their fortunes? I mean, so many interesting stories, I'm sure. It would be great if we did have something like that thing from Assassin's Creed where you could watch your ancestors' memories. Because I'm sure there's just so much fascinating history. I'll have a look at this. Familia Montero Ribolo. They do have some information around. I might take some time now to just have a read of them, some of them, and see if there's anything interesting. Well, I'm certain it's interesting for me. So I've had a look around, and it looks like that thing I was at earlier is the same cemetery, just the less grand part. It really is something really peculiar for me. Now, I know that Spain is a holiday place, and you have to tell me what you think of this. Spain is a holiday place. There's a reputation, from my experiences of talking to people, as somewhere where people might just go, spend their days on the beach, drink their San Miguels, watch the world go by. But it's a big country. It's got a lot of history. I'm sure every single corner of the country has got interesting points like this to go and have a look at. And it's made me really appreciate that it's somewhere that I'd like to come and visit more. So I might try to do that. Like it's so easy. You get certain amounts of annual leave each year, and that's it. That's your lot for going away. But yes, this has intrigued me about. I've still got another 9 days here, and there's other things I'd like to see, so I will. But yeah, it certainly has reminded me that this is a country with loads of history. That said, it's getting hot. I would like to go and have a beer by the pool, and I can do that, so I think I will. Take a look at this though. This is a cool street part of the cemetery. Yeah, very peaceful, very pretty. There's probably more stories here and more information in these plaques that I'm gonna miss, but you've got to accept that you can't read it all. Very nice. So I've had my swim, had my beer, had my dinner, and we're going to Lloret de Mar town. I think it looks like the main part of the town on the map, and see what it looks like at 10 o'clock at night.
lado y todo. Mi papá no sé. José, mi papá no sé.
This Lloret de Mar reminds me a little bit like a big Spanish ayanapa.
No, that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't want to walk.
Domani.
Loads of clubs, loads of bars, some restaurants. But it's gone a bit quieter here down by the beach. Oh, there's the beach. Much better and more peaceful.
We sat on the wall here.
So, outside the town hall, and starting to rate this town a little bit higher, maybe an 8 out of 10. The little Iron Napa part was a little bit not up my street anymore, but you know, tastes change. It's a really nice building. This got a clock up the top somewhere. There it is. Catalan flag, just to remind you that you're in the Catalan region of Spain. Yeah, I think this is a nice example of Spanish architecture. If I had a better camera, you might see more of that. Now, hopefully going to walk past a church, which I can't remember the name of, or any of the facts about it that I read, but it's quite pretty. So hopefully we'll come across that in the near future. And these streets here are getting nice and windy. Just what you like from a nice European town. Probably expect to end up in a pub or somewhere here. I don't know anything about any of them, but it would be nice to come and have a drink, a nightcap, before heading back. This is the life. Route 33. Looks like there's curry on the menu, so not quite of interest to me right now. Yeah, it's nice. I didn't know. What do you think? Do you think you'd come to Lloret de Mar? Give it a chance, like I did, and I like it. So it's always worth giving places a chance. Well, this is a nice looking square I'm coming into now. Oh, this might be the church that I thought was famous. Wow. Oh, that looks nice. Looks like it's been borrowed out of Barcelona and just plopped right here in Lloret de Mar. Here's Alice by the Iglesia de Santa Roma. Magnificent church. And that brings the end of the first few clips of Lloret de Mar. If you liked it, maybe subscribe to see more. It'll get better, I'm sure it will. Until next time.